Hello everyone and welcome back today for the GT Sport League here at Gavra Racing. We're here for round number 2 at the Circuit de la Sarthe, otherwise known as the Le Mans Grand Prix. I've got a new commentator here joining me in the commentary box. Would you like to introduce yourself? So, round 2, we had a very interesting round 1 last week at the Nürburgring. We saw Duke win the race, followed by Toussaint and Jojo Power rounding up the podium. But as always, I'm also joined by Duke himself in the Mercedes.
Hey everybody.
And we're currently in qualifying. It's a 12-minute session around the Le Mans track. It's going to take quite some time for these guys to do their out laps. It is roughly a 4-minute lap time. So it's going to be a very interesting qualifying session, I think. I feel like slipstream is going to be very important for these drivers. With, as you can see in the map in the top left, you've just got so many long straights. Slipstream will definitely be a factor in this qualifying session, I think. So yeah, I believe Woody will be the first one to cross the start line unless Duke or GJ overtakes him on his outlap. Yeah, I'd hope. I think it's going to be like an F1 2019 Italian Grand Prix with everyone slowing down for the slipstream. You can see Duke letting Jojo and GJ through. Yeah, they get the 8 minutes, and then I think they get an extra 2 or 3 minutes to finish the lap they're on. Yeah, this track quite known for its penalties. Many places the corner cut with the white lines and the curbs being quite different in track limits. At some corners, Woody's coming through. Oh no, yeah, Woody's starting his lap. However, yeah, I do believe though he's got a little bit of a gap to GJ, but GJ might just get a little bit of slipstream on the second half of the straight. Yeah, he's point. Yeah, so he's gonna have to either slow down on this lap or use this lap, take this lap as a penalty. GJ's go ahead. Because it's quite a long lap, I'd say Woody probably might slow down, take his penalty in this lap, and then just go for it on his next lap. But yeah, penalties I think will definitely change things in this qualifying session. I don't think anyone else has got a penalty so far. Okay, so Duke looking good in the Mercedes. I've got 8 drivers joining us today. I'll quickly run down the championship standings after the first race at the Nürburgring. We had Duke win that race in the Mercedes. Closely following him in the other Mercedes, we had Toussaint here. He's currently 7th on track, but everyone's still on their first lap. In 3rd place, we had Jojo Power. He's in the Audi. Finished 3rd. 1 shot 2 down in the other Audi. He's not here with us today. He couldn't make it. He finished 4th. GJ, I believe he was in the Subaru. There he is in the Subaru. Finished 5th. Joe Black finished in 6th in the Ford Mustang, and then we had Tiger Assassin 7th place. He's in the Aston Martin, currently the last one on track, but yeah, no one's set their lap time yet. Then we had Mini Pucker, who isn't here with us today. He finished 8th. Borley's in 9th. Woody, who's currently 1st on track, still with a 1/10 penalty in the BMW. He finished in 10th, and then we had Joanna, who DNF'd from the race, finishing in 11th. They'll probably get this. Well, they get this lap one more, and then some might get one more after that one. It's going to be quite interesting. Yeah, he's coming through to the final end of the sector now. He's taking his penalty. A little bit of a slide. It touches the barrier a little bit on the right. Yeah, you can't see anything in the bottom left. Rides the curb a little bit. That shouldn't affect his time too much. He's coming. You can ride on board with him now and into the final few chicanes. Quite a little bit of a slide through the final corner now. He's going to come across the line and set a benchmarker, a first lap of a 4:09. What about DJ? DJ a 4:01. JJ Power sets provisional pole with a 39.5. Duke then gets second with a 30. Quite close behind Joe Jackson, only 2/10. Derashi sets a 4:06, so he might improve this lap. I can't tell what car he's in. I don't think he was racing last week. He's in the BMW. Toussaint sets the third quickest lap of a 4:03, and Joe Black sets a 4:18, and decides to come into the pits, change his tyres, probably put on a little bit of fuel maybe, but I'm not sure. Yeah, Tiger Assassin sets his personal best of a 4:08 in 7th place. Would he get another 0.4 penalty? So yeah, if he had a 5/10 penalty on his other lap, so that without it he might have got Toussaint in third, but with his where's Judge Power? Where's that? Right, and he's coming to the pits, so I'm not sure if he'll get another lap in. Maybe, but some of these guys, yeah, but Slipstream will definitely give an advantage on the straights. We'll see if he will be able to do another lap. We've got Woody still got his 0.3 penalty, but right behind him on track and in the in qualifying is GJ in the Subaru. He'll be hoping to get some of the slipstream off the BMW driver. Goes 9/10 quicker than his personal best, so that will. Yeah, I'm not sure he's gonna get out for another lap. But then maybe qualifying first may not be the greatest thing, because slipstream on the first few straights on the first few laps while everyone's really close together will definitely help. Probably had an incident or come together with the barrier somewhere, which we didn't see. I believe. I think Woody's almost served his penalty. He's currently at 0.0 penalty. That's been served. GJ's got, yeah, he's got his 5/10 penalty, so he's only got a few corners left to serve it. We do have he has gone 1.1 seconds quicker which is unfortunate for him because he's going to have to lose 5 tenths or slow down for 5 tenths. Definitely. Oh, Woody's got himself a 5/10th penalty, and I think he's bailed out on his lap there. Drivers have got 4 minutes 30 to get their final lap in. Not sure, but GJ sets his new qualifying time. Duke improves and goes first. So provisional pole Mercedes for the Mercedes driver. 4 minutes left. I believe Woody and GJ. Oh yeah, they've all crossed the line. They've all finished. Who's going to be next? Dash. He's come across the line. Does he improve? Toussaint goes pole by 8 tenths. Provisional pole. Who else is on? I believe Tiger Assassin. He's coming through the final few corners now. So can he do anything to improve his 7th place? Currently 2 seconds off 6th position. He's going to come across. It looks like a good lap time from the Aston driver. 1 minute 1, 5th place. So close to Woody. 0.042 seconds behind him. But there is one other driver. Jojo Powers on a lap, but I think this is the same lap he span. Potentially. He's currently on a 3 minute 47. He's coming through the final sector now. Yeah. And I think he's bailed out of that lap. So there will be your starting grid for today's race at the Circuit de la Sarthe. We've got Toussaint on pole by 8 tenths, followed by Duke and the other Mercedes. And then 3rd place we've got Jojo Power. Woody, a good qualifying position from him. In 4th, he's improved 6 positions from last week. Tiger Assassin in 5th, GJ in 6th, Deashi in 7th, and rounding up the grid is Joe Black in the Mustang. Definitely. So I think it's going to be a pretty interesting race. I'm seeing Woody in the chat. He's proud of himself with his swelling feet. Yeah. So leave your predictions in chat if you want, guys, to who you think will win this race. We're now going to hear from Duke. Duke, how did you feel about that qualifying session? Was it a perfect lap, or do you think, or was there a few mistakes? Duke, hello? Okay, we'll come back to him later. Currently in P2, 8 tenths of pole, 1 tenth ahead of 3rd place. It's annoying we've got to wait the whole 1 minute 30, I think, to yeah, 4 thousandths, really close, especially on a track that's so long. Yeah, definitely. Just waiting for the remaining 40 seconds. It'd be great if we could just finish the qualifying session, but I think it's because Joe Black's in the pits and the game still thinks he's on a lap. Because I don't think he's crossed. Yeah, he hasn't crossed. He's in front of the start-finish straight, so he's. Yeah, so we're gonna have to wait for the 30 seconds to pass by, guys, and then we'll be ready to go racing. And there we go. qualifying has ended, and that is your starting grid, guys. It won't be time to read them all out. But there we go. Here we go for race day here at the Circuit de la Sarthe. Round number 2 in the GT Sport League here at Gavra Racing. You'll see another flash up of the starting grid. Yep. Rolling start, all the drivers will have roughly 5 tenths in between them off the start. Hopefully, maybe we'll see a few moves into turns 1 maybe, and obviously the slipstream with everyone being close together on the straights. But here we go, 1, and it's go for the round number 2. The Circuit de la Sarthe. Toussaint leads the way, followed by Jojo Power, Woody, Tiger Assassin, GJ, Daashi, and Joe Black rounding off the grid. But it seems to be a good start from the Mercedes driver. He's got the Duke's already got a bit of a gap to Jojo Power, so I think that's like a 6th or 7th, 10th gap. Any action happening towards the back of the grid? Got Woody going a bit wide. That was a little bit of a slide from the BMW driver. He's got Tiger Assassin right behind him now. Definitely, we only had one kind of major incident last week with a move up the inside into turn 1, so hopefully we won't see many more collisions, but you could see a couple of overtakes towards the middle of the pack. But I've got my camera on Toussaint, who's currently being chased down on the straight by Duke. The gap's going down and down and down. It's now 2 tenths, 1.5 tenths. He moves to the inside line. Will we see a move for the inside? Decides to back out, play it safe. Tiger Assassin's got past Woody in the Aston Martin. Oh, there's a little bit of contact. Tiger Assassin, I think, had to cut the corner. He's gone wide, and there's a bit of a slide there. GJ's got past him in the Subaru Jeep. GJ's got past Tiger Assassin, who didn't get the best of exits through the chicane. There may have been contact, but now, oh, there's a little bit of contact between him and Daashi. Daashi runs into the back of the BMW. I don't think there's too much damage. I'm just going to get some more information. Up there we go. Now we can see that telemetry. Yeah, Woody's got quite a lot of damage to his car. You can see the front and the back. The front left, the back right of Woody's car is very, very damaged. We might see an early pit stop. Yeah, definitely 1 second lead now. The Mercedes driver running a NHS livery, suitable for these times. Going down to the midfield, Tiger Assassin chasing down GJ and the Subaru after there was a little bit of contact at the chicane between a few drivers. Yeah, I think Woody, that damage is definitely affecting his race. He's now 7.4 seconds behind, 7.8 seconds now behind Joe Black. So maybe we'll see an early stop from him. His engine and both the front and the back of his car are in the red, so quite a lot of damage. Definitely. There was a bit of contact between him and Daashi, who's also got front left damage. He ran into the back of him on the straight, so kind of underestimating the power of the slipstream. But currently, after 1 lap, we got almost after 1 lap. Sorry, Toussaint still leads the way, but only by 5 tenths. The gap's come down. Slipstream's really gonna have a good effect on the driver behind. So many long straights in this track. It's basically an extended version of Monza, you could say. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'll quickly check that now, guys. Apologies. Yeah, it's all on here. So back to the racing. Duke still leads the way after 1 lap. 5 minutes have gone.
Sorry about that.
Hopefully you can now hear Thunder
Hello.
on stream. Don't worry, it's only been 12 minutes, so still got another 55 to go.
They actually, I'm gonna make a mess of that pronunciation, but does he have a collision on the first lap? I'm not sure.
I think, yeah, he ran into the back of Woody in the first chicane, I think, or the second chicane. He's got front left damage. Woody's coming into the pits, so I think Derash's, yeah, he's also coming into the pits to get their cars repaired.
So these hopefully have a little bit of a race together.
Yeah, they might also put on some more fuel and try and go long in this race. Keep an eye. He does decide to change tyres.
Oh, the gap between Tucson and Duke is going to...
Tucson and Duke. Yeah, Duke's going down the inside.
Duke is in first.
Gonna ride on board with Tucson. Who is going to break later into the chicane? I think Tucson's starting to back out of it.
Yeah, he might
get a
hope
better
to
run.
slipstream on the next straight. Hopefully, that's probably what he's hoping.
Yeah, this
and he
is
gets
what
a good
Duke
enough.
is.
Oh,
Yeah,
Duke's
got a good exit off the out of the chicane. Riding on board with Duke. This is what he'll be looking at behind him. Is the closing down Mercedes.
Will he go?
Would he go left? Would he go right? He pulls over to the right hand side.
Outside. That's gonna be the outside line.
So with the outside, yeah, so the outside for the next chicane. Can he get it? Can he get it working? Would he get the move?
They're side by side. It's gonna be
still side by side in the straight, and
he gets
around the outside.
Oh,
nice move there from Toussaint in the Mercedes, but I'm sure Duke will be coming back at him on the second, the third straight after the chicane. This is going to be really good battle for the league. Right behind, he pulls over to the left hand side. This will be the outside, I think, for the next 90-degree right-hander.
Oh, there's a bit of contact.
Little bit of wheel bang, but that'll be okay for damage. Duke still holding it around the outside.
It's a heavy braking zone here.
Holding around the outside. This is great racing already, and we're only on lap 2. We're only 7 minutes into this race, and the two leaders are still side by side. Coming down to another straight. Toussaint tucks in behind.
So yeah, this is great, clean battle, which is most important.
Toussaint pulls over to the right hand side, tucks back into the slipstream. Riding on board with Toussaint now. I think he's deciding to take it kind of easy into the left hand. Do I get a good exit?
This is hopefully going to be.
Duke's got a 5/10 penalty. Duke has got a 5/10 penalty. That's gonna
change the race a little. That could
definitely
give
Toussaint does go a little bit wide though through the right hander. But when will Duke decide to take his penalty? This will be interesting because Toussaint obviously.
Sometimes the game just picks up your penalty when you go through a corner. Just the game not really taking the penalty right. So he's probably hoping for that, but that is not ideal. But he's got a 1.2 second lead at the moment.
Definitely so. Yeah, how much time he'll lose when he takes that 5/10 penalty? Because obviously he'll lose 5/10, but whether he'll lose a bit more because of his momentum compared to Toussaint and the other Mercedes. I'm just going to have a quick look down the rest of the field, see if there are any other drivers really close on track.
Let's have a quick look at the... we've got 13 people watching, so...
Yeah, thanks to everyone watching. We've got Jojo Power gaining on Toussaint here. I don't know if he got a penalty or made a mistake. They're now 6/10 between them two. I think...
Oh, they're going to be very close together going down.
Yeah, definitely going down the straight. I think Duke he served a 10th of his penalty. How much more would he take with this 3-second lead over Toussaint?
There's a big gap
we've got Joe Black and Joe Black and Tiger
pit
Assassin both into the pits. I don't know if there was damage, but yeah, Tiger Assassin's got rear damage to his cars. He pits for
Tiger Assassin's livery. Oh, Tiger Assassin has some damage on the right rear of his car. There's
he's also refueling. I think he'll try and get that damage repaired in the pits, just like Woody and actually done really early on this song. And
Joe Black is out.
Yeah, Tiger Assassin go for the soft tyres, so he'll be going long into this race. I think Duke has just served his penalty on the straight.
Yeah, GJ has a penalty.
GJ, the Subaru driver, with a 3/10 penalty. I wonder if he'll slow it. He could slow it down on the straight. He does have a 37 gap behind him, but obviously I think everyone else behind has pitted.
Are separated by about 2 seconds here,
Yeah,
so very...
top three separated by 8 tenths exactly, 7 tenths now. This is going to be a really interesting... Yeah, Duke not in the best position here in the lead, but we've got Toussaint pulling alongside, currently going for the lead of the race. This will be the outside, so will he replicate the same move he done earlier on in the race a lap ago? We've had 10 minutes of this race. Jojo Power just having a look in the back there. Just, you know,
the outside, no, inside. Oh, Toussaint has gone into
another move around the outside, almost a replica move of what we saw last lap.
Duke is going to be under pressure from Jojo and Toussaint, so Jojo could be in the prime position here. Definitely.
We've got I don't know if that actually says he's in the pits again.
Yeah, I'll check him. You keep on the battle.
He might have got more damage, but we've got Duke pulling over to the left hand side. He's going for another move around the outside, another replica move of what we saw last lap. Jojo Powell go for it. I think he's got the best camera, but Jojo Powell is going down the inside of Duke as well. Battle for first here. This is great stuff from these three drivers. So far it all seems to be clean. None of them have any major damage.
I was looking at the Ashy pit stop. He was there for a long time, and I think he was repairing something, but there's no visual damage on his car.
Probably putting lots of fuel on. But now we have Duke. Duke and 10-2 going side by side. Duke's going for the inside. He gets the move done. Very clean from these drivers.
Toussaint is going to be under pressure from Jojo. Oh, but this straight is so long here. It's even hard to lose concentration. I know that sounds stupid, but you can easily daydream away.
Definitely a misjudged braking points. Getting a bit excited, getting close to the drivers in front.
And on the first straight, there's a wall right in front of you if you miss the first chicane, and that would be devastating to your car.
Definitely, yeah. Joe Black and Tiger Assassin, they're pretty... I think they're the next closest pairing on track. Currently a second separated to them. The leaders, though, all separated by a second or something.
Yeah, in the chat you got people talking Irish, so yeah, I won't say any of them just in case. Well, I know what they mean, but
best keep this family friendly.
Exactly.
We got
Toussaint's
got a 5 penalty.
He's got into 4 tenths on the straight, and I didn't think he lifted off there.
I wonder if he'll take his penalty now and let Jojo through and then come back at him on the straight. It'll be interesting to see what he said. But he's got a good exit on the other Mercedes driver who's currently leading this race, Duke. Will we see a move?
The battle between the top two is very fair because they're both in the exact same car.
Definitely.
And I think it's default setup, if I'm right. I think.
I'm not too sure about the setup, but I know best of performance is on. Yeah, Toussaint's taking his penalty now, so he's going to have the slipstream of Jojo on the straight.
So great racing here, and it's all been clean as well. So
I'm just having a quick look in chat real quick, and Thunder, you're being disappointed at. This is your first race, so.
Yeah, I'm sad that I've already disappointed.
We'll let him off. We've got Tiger Assassin in the pits, but also Toussaint's got another 5/10 penalty.
Oh, that is him. Oh.
Tiger Assassin pits from. I don't know. He's on the soft tyre and he's got 70. He's repairing his damage there. Tiger Assassin. He's repaired the rear of his car, and he comes back out in 6th place.
Toussaint has served his penalty.
Toussaint served his penalty. Now 6.
He
hasn't lost too much time actually.
There's 7 runners left.
Leaders.
I think De La Ashy retired.
Oh, we've lost De Ashy. I didn't see that. Maybe he had too much damage. I don't know why. Yeah, there he goes. He's just left the session.
Winning a bit of his league of his own here. 15 seconds behind Tiger Racing.
Pretty much, so, but he has made one stop as we've got Jojo battle for the lead. Jojo Power putting over to the inside.
Oh.
Clean racing there. They're still side by side with Duke's keeping his car on the inside.
He's gone wide. He
Jojo running a little. That could get. Yeah, that might give him a 5/10 penalty, but we'll have to wait and see. But this is allowing Toussaint. Yeah, he's got a 5/10 penalty just from going over the white line, and Duke is coming over on the right hand side. This will be The inside Toussaint, this could be 3 wide at the end of the straight. I'm going to ride on board now with Toussaint. He's going right
Toussaint's
through
in
the middle.
And I think it's a right-hander.
Right-hander, 90-degree right-hander. Jojo Power served his penalty and hasn't lost too much time actually. But it's gone round the outside of Toussaint. They're still side by side on the straight.
Duke is in the lead. Duke seeming to be handling the pressure well though, like well enough.
Definitely.
He's in the lead for most of this.
We had a 3-way battle last week for 5th place, and then we've got another 3-way battle for the lead. As Toussaint's got a 4-second gap behind him to GJ, but he's going on the right-hand side, on the inside of Jojo Power. Will he also get a little bit of slipstream from Duke? He's going to go down the inside, and then he's up into 2nd place. But Jojo Power's going to stay around the outside. He's going to go down the inside. Really clean from these 3 drivers.
I can just see this ending in tragedy though, and that would be.
And they've still got.
GJ, he's creeping up. He was 6 seconds behind at the start of this lap, and he's got it down to 4.
Yeah, he's got a 3-10 penalty though in the Subaru. We might see him. He's 6 seconds behind Duke, and he's definitely gaining on this battle.
Side by side. No.
You've got Jojo Power looking for a move on Toussaint, but I think decides to back out of it, and the gap to Duke's increased to 2 seconds. I didn't see if these two have made a mistake, if there was a penalty, and yeah, the gap's now 2.3 seconds to the leader, so they're definitely losing a lot of time on the straight.
And I'm just going to keep Evan Dalton happy and just say, you mean it's and I'm dumb. It's not offensive at all, but just I think it's an Irish primary school, just nostalgia, so let's get that out of the way.
I've just looked at the chat and Evan's just said, imagine this race next week. Imagine this race next week if Nat and Thunder each hit off in the freshman.
Oh, well, we've been doing a lot of 1v1s lately, so.
Yeah, we've got that race, freshman league coming up at 8:30, but we've got the gap back to the lead is definitely increased. We got GJ first of like the front runners to come to the pits. He's out of he's got out of fuel, so he's out of fuel. He's got very little fuel left, so I wonder if we'll see any of the top 3 pitting for fuel, whether they've conserved their fuel or whether they've gone aggressive at the start of this race.
Yeah, strategy seems such a long race. We're only about 17 minutes in. Sorry, my maths there.
We've still got another 43 minutes of this. And
this is after it's an hour-long race, so even your mentality will go down, your concentration, and I think Evan Dalton, your Buewa fun were. So yeah, I won't disappoint you there again.
I don't know how long this has been happening for, but I've just noticed Toussaint's got a little bit of rear damage to his car, rear right damage.
Yeah, I said when he was in the pits, I saw that and I thought he was getting repaired. Unless that's a little bit of a glitch of the game.
I'm not sure.
I've seen that when he was.
JJ Power's now going round, looking to go round the outside of Toussaint. Oh, there's a little bit of contact.
Oh,
but it all seems to be a little bit.
Jojo went a little bit wide.
Jojo may get a little bit of a penalty, even just for going wide. That's how harsh this track is. But this is allowing Duke to really gain a bit of an advantage. And while he's got the advantage, Duke, how's the start of this race going?
It's super fun. It's super competitive, and yeah, I think the slipstream is a huge factor. So who managed that's the better. And then just keep your head cool, keep calm, don't make mistakes, and don't get a penalty.
Definitely, we've certainly seen so much action here in this race already. 18 minutes into this race. The drivers are on lap 5 now, but then it is an endurance race, so laps don't really matter here.
I would say they're going to probably do about 15 laps around.
Probably, yeah, 15, 16 maybe, depends on how many pit stops these guys make. But riding on board with Jojo.
Jojo! Oh, he's gone wide there. He went a good bit wide there, so he might get a penalty.
Potentially.
I think that was a bit of lag.
Not sure, but I'm riding on board with Jojo, and his fuel light's flashing, so maybe he'll be pitting for fuel soon. Toussaint's the top 3's fuel lights are all flashing, so maybe we'll see some early pit stops. I say early pit stops. It is a long lap, so they're only on lap 5, so maybe we'll see these top 3 pitting all close to empty. It'd be devastating if one of these 3 were to run out of fuel. Obviously it's a long way back to the pits.
Yes, it would be humiliating in a way as well.
Definitely
I'll
running quite slowly, and that would lose a lot of time. Not something these guys are going to want.
And it all depends how people could jump each other in the pit stops by how much fuel they put on.
Definitely, we saw that last week with Tiger Assassin and GJ, I believe. I think Tiger Assassin came out in front of him because he put on less fuel and was able to conserve it till the end of the race.
Yeah, so Duke has a 4-second or 4.7 second lead, so he might make his pit stop this race. I'm not sure what his fuel is like. My camera isn't really working too well.
Yeah, the very... Oh, Toussaint and Joe Powell go a little bit wide. That might give them a penalty, I'm not too sure. But if you use the variable camera... Yeah, they both... I know Toussaint's got a 5/10 penalty, and Jojo Powell got away with it. But both drivers coming into the pits, and
Duke is in the pits as well.
So they've all done very well to get their fuel to this far in the race. Like Duke, 4% of his fuel left, so he left that... Timed that
very
really well.
I'd say I like his pit crew.
Definitely very bright and colourful. But which out of the top three are going to put on the most fuel?
It depends.
Will we see a change for position?
First or last?
They're all currently sat in the pit box, putting on fuel.
Oh, it's a...
Also, you got to see DJ. DJ's coming through the final few sectors now.
Duke is out first.
Duke is out first. He's put 80. Oh, so we've got quite a variety of fuel going on board, and Jojo Power and GJ are pretty. I was said they're pretty close. Yeah, GJ's got 1.5 second penalty though. But yeah, how the pit stops can change everything in this race. And now 5 seconds from Jojo Power to Duke, and 3 seconds to Toussaint. Just to show that Jojo Power has probably put on more fuel.
He'd be slower at the starting, but at the end he might be able to push a good bit better.
Definitely, he'll be able to go long. He might, whether he'll conserve his fuel or whether he'll use more power and overtake mode in F1. Whether he'll try and go quick.
I was just looking at Jojo's car there. He is on his front grille. There's a little bit of damage. I'm not sure on his right front of his car.
Nothing's coming up in the bottom. He hasn't got any visual damage in the bottom left. Nothing's flashing up, but that may affect a little bit of his performance. But Toussaint's still got a little bit of damage to his rear.
Now they're already split. Toussaint to Duke is 2.3, and then Jojo to Toussaint is 3.3. So they're a bit spread out now. Might be calming down a little bit.
Yeah, the pit stops have definitely changed the way this race is going to go out. But everyone, I don't know how many people plan their strategy.
Tiger Grasson and Joe Black, they're side by side.
Oh yeah, they're side by side. On board now with Tiger Assassin. Joe Black in the Mustang has got ahead of him. They're currently now weaving on the straight for the slipstream. We'll see if
Tiger Assassin goes around the outside.
To the right hand side.
Inside. And he backs out
of it. I'm riding on board with him now. Whether he'll probably try and get a better exit. Then, oh, that's a bit of a slide. He catches it well.
Lucky. And that is compromises exit onto the straight, so he's going to lose a lot of times. But he's better off not being in the wall.
Definitely, it's better than crashing into the wall and getting damage, which will affect you for. Well, it's a long lap, so any major damage now, and it's a long way back to the pits.
Yeah. Woody, that damage at the start of the race really cost him. He's 50 seconds away.
Qualified in fourth place, was it? Fourth or fifth, and yeah, that damage really early on in the lap has definitely affected him because, like I've said many times, it's a 4-minute lap. So if you crash at the start, you've got to nurse your car for 4 minutes.
4-minute lap is a good lap as well, and with damage, it's probably be about 4 minutes 20 with damage.
Definitely. Unlike other games where laps are about 1.5 minutes. Other tracks.
I find Spa bad or Belgium bad in F1 when you have a bit of front wing damage getting back to the pits. Toussaint has a bit of damage on the left front of his car. I'm not sure. Just some visual damage at least. I'm not sure is that new.
I'm not sure how long that's been there or whether it's just visual, but nothing major, I don't think. His rear ring is still flashing red in the bottom red, so yeah, it doesn't seem to be affecting him too much.
A ring outside! Oh no, there's contact!
Joe Black and Tiger Assassin got into the gravel there. Oh! A bit of a slide there from the Aston Martin. He's hit the wall. He's got right front tyre damage to his right front tyre.
There was a bit of contact before. I'm not sure were you on the screen, but there's a bit of contact.
I didn't catch the damage before, but...
And I think it was Tiger Assassin.
Yeah, he's got some suspension damage to his front right. He's weaving on the straights a little bit.
That means Woody could be back in the game for a bit of a
That's very unfortunate. Yeah, Woody might close in on Tiger Assassin if he... Yeah, he's definitely got a lot of damage to the front of his car.
You've got World F1 saying the penalty system is so much more interesting in this game. Well, it'd be good if you're... It's probably bad
really
when you're
harsh
racing.
in this game sometimes as well.
The one thing I hate is that your penalty comes up about 10 seconds later.
Yeah, sometimes. But Tiger Assassin seems... I don't know if Joe Back made a mistake. He's got a 5/10 penalty though. But he seems to be gaining still on the Mustangs. Will we see Tiger Assassin pits? Yes, Tiger. I don't think he's got any damage, but Tiger Assassin comes into the pits, I would assume, to probably refuel and repair the damage to the front right of his car.
This is a quick question. In a GT, is there a pit limiter, or can you go full pace?
I believe it's full pace into the pit lane, and then the game takes control of your car. And yeah, he's repaired the front right of his damaged car.
There's 2.6 seconds between Toussaint and Jojo Power, and then 3 to Duke. So it's probably they're happy for them that they're not risking their race completely by battling the whole time. Oh, Woody's got a 0.5 second penalty, and I think this might be close with them on the way out. Oh no, Tiger's already out.
Yeah, pit stops pit stops in this game can be from maybe 8 seconds to about 15 seconds, depending on damage or tyre changes and fuel. So it's definitely that's why it's changed to the top 3 so much. Is on board with Toussaint now. He's got a 3.7 second gap to the leader. Before the pit stops, I think that was 2.6 or something.
Awesome Assassin, I'm not sure who that is, but he's racing. I think it might be Tiger Grasson. He's saying Joe Black pushed me off a clear push. So
unfortunately, I didn't get it on screen. I don't know if you did, but I only saw the second half when they went through the corner.
I'll save the clip if they want to get in contact with me. I think I'll just save that video clip. I think I just have just gameplay on the whole time. So if any views want to just contact me. I was lucky. I just saw it, and then I come on, and then they were side by side. And
so Toussaint now still in second. He's got the fastest lap of the race with a 3-minute 58.418.
That's a pretty good pace, like for a race as well.
Yeah, if he can keep that up, I'm sure he'll be gaining on Duke. However, the gap has gone up to 4 seconds now, and
then there's 2.
Yeah, Duke seems to be controlling the pace of this race so far. He won the last week's race in the Nürburgring.
So there's half an hour left, or 32 minutes left. So still a lot can happen. Mistakes will come into play.
Yeah, we could get mistakes, penalties, and also different strategies. Because with people putting on more fuel,
or I'm not sure about the 2-stop or the tyre wear, but if you wear your tyres too much, fast speed corners will be very, very hard, so you just have to be careful.
Definitely, and I think Jojo
has taken down a lot of time, so we could have a bit of a battle here. And then it's gone to around 5 seconds to Duke from Toussaint.
I wonder how, because we saw Jojo, we saw the top 3 within a second of each other before the pit stops. And Toussaint's got a 5/10 penalty. And it's within the 5/10 window of Jojo Powell, and he's coming to the pits. So how much? So he's obviously burnt a lot of his fuel and trying to go quicker to this race. Will we see? He's actually got 48% still left of his
yeah, I don't think he get any damage.
He's had rear damage for that pretty much the whole race, but
I'm looking at.
I think he's coming in now. Let's have a look. He's coming for a tyre change. Will he put on more fuel? I don't think he chooses. Yeah, he's not choosing to put on more. He's putting on fuel. He's only putting a little bit of fuel. He's still got 48% of his fuel, so it's very interesting.
He obviously didn't want to make his car too heavy, but he still comes out third.
and he's also repaired
So-
the damage to the rear of his car. That might be why he pitted. He realised he was losing too much time to Duke, so he
And
might
he didn't want to
try.
get caught in the battle.
I wonder if he'll conserve his fuel for the remaining 30 minutes, or whether he'll burn
not
his
sure.
fuel and try and attack Jojo Power and then come in for another stop.
I'm not. For some reason, my camera isn't really working. I'm not sure how much fuel the top two have left.
Yeah, it's annoying. You can't actually see how much fuel. Well, when you have all the on-screen data, and you can see in the bottom left that Jojo Power's still got half of his fuel left, and
Yeah,
Duke's got quite a lot of his fuel left actually. So he's conserving fuel more than Jojo. Jojo might have been pushing to try and gain on Toussaint.
I'm stuck on the. I'm not able to change any camera angle for some reason, but sure. It is okay. 8 seconds between Jojo and Duke, and then Toussaint, I don't know how to pronounce it. He's taken 2 seconds already out of Jojo Power. He came out about 14 seconds.
With
Oh,
1
he has a
penalty.
second. Well, 1 second penalty.
I believe that was. I didn't quite catch it, but I think he got that. Is that still from before he pitted?
Yeah.
He's got DJ in the background there in the Subaru.
He's catching up. I'm not sure about the Subaru pace in the straights or how quick it is around this track. But
Definitely, yeah. But Woody seems to be gaining on Tiger Assassin. It's gone from 40 seconds to 30 seconds. So
yes, so he'd be happy.
I wonder if I don't know if Tiger Assassin made a mistake. I know we saw the we didn't quite see all of it, but Tiger Assassin and Joe Black come together. The probably the biggest crash we've had all season. I say all season. We've only had this is the second round.
There still seems, I'm not sure when you go into the pitch does it clean your visual damage, but there still seems to be a lot of damage around his car.
Yeah, I think it's just visual damage for now, because he definitely had. We saw a bit of contact at the start between a few of the drivers.
Joe Black is in the middle of nowhere at the moment, but I'd say he's happy with that. He's in at like P5.
He's got a second quicker in his in sector 2 on his sector 1, sorry, on his personal best. Sector 2, yeah. Right. Currently in the middle of nowhere, as you say, almost a minute behind the leader, who's now 8 seconds ahead of Jojo Power. So. Definitely.
GJ Claude is 4 seconds. I think he's lost a bit of time there to Toussaint. But obviously Toussaint has the 1 second penalty.
Yeah, he's probably just. I think the best place to serve the penalties on this track is the final chicane, where you don't really gain that much time anyway. Because if you cut them, you'll probably get yourself another 5/10th penalty, or even a second penalty, or before the straights, or another good place. Otherwise, because you can get slipstream if you're behind.
You'd be happy to know I'm able to see their fuel now, so that's good.
I think Toussaint's I think he's burning his fuel. He's gone over half. He's got less than half of his fuel left, and yeah, we might see one more pit stop from these drivers. Maybe even another stop after that. It all depends whether they burn or conserve.
Because there's still 27 minutes left. We're just over halfway. So yeah.
Ooh, I'm not sure if that was a corner cut there from Toussaint in the final few corners. We'll have to wait and see. He's got blue flags. But I'm not sure who's blue flags. What? Yeah, I think that's just not sure why there was blue flags there, but anyway.
Moving on.
Black, GJ in the Subaru. Oh, he's just picked up a 5/10th penalty.
He's already got it down to 4 though, like after that corner. So
I was just about to say how he was falling off, slowly falling behind Toussaint.
I would say Toussaint is burning fuel now. Seeming he got that extra bit, so he's just about burning it now.
Yeah, I reckon Duke is definitely conserving fuel. He's not used too much fuel since the last time I had a look at him. Jojo Power, roughly half of his fuel left.
And then Duke is just over half, and then Toussaint has just under half.
What a start though we had to this race. The first 20 minutes were
complete wheel-to-wheel
action packed, and then we had the pit stop, so it's now a race of strategy.
I'm trying to look at the fuel.
I've just
So
had a
one
quick look at
person lost
chat
a
and
lot of
yes.
fuel.
Sorry.
A person was, I was just scrolling through. Woody still has a lot of fuel left. He's just one after the full.
And he's got
So he'll
himself
have
a
a bit of,
1.6 second penalty.
he's got the gap down to 26 seconds though. It was at 1:40, so
So he's definitely got some pace in that BMW, but whether it'll be enough pace to close in on Tiger Assassin before the end of the race and get rid of his penalty in 25
penalty,
minutes.
he's already got it down to 1.1 though. I just saw that. So
But it'll be whether he
GJ
can...
went a bit wide there. He could have himself another penalty. No, but he still has a 1.4 second penalty. So yeah.
So the leader Duke still leads this race by 1.3 seconds. He qualified second, I think, second or third, and has pretty much controlled this race from the start ever since he overtook the leaders. Had a few bit of battles before Toussaint and Jojo Power, but then after the pit stops, the Mercedes driver in the bright green and pink car sets the fastest second sector, and might try and get to Toussaint's fastest lap.
Yeah. Is there any points for fast lap, or is that?
I'm not
I
sure.
don't think so.
I don't think there's points for fastest lap, but I'll have a check at the end. But
Jojo
yes.
Power's just gone under halfway fuel, so he's starting to burn a bit.
Definitely, I think we had 8 drivers starting this race. We had 11 last week. A few couldn't make it for this week. Now down to 7 drivers. I think Duke's on for a personal best. He's 4 tenths quicker than his personal best. I think if he gains 2 more tenths on his personal best, 6 tenths on his personal best, he will set the fastest lap of the race. Currently with a 3:59 flat is his.
Toussaint has gone off in the gravel.
Oh, Toussaint's
He's in the
round.
gravel.
I didn't quite get that, but
He's in the gravel there, and GJ's gonna overtake him.
I'll get a
or it's gonna be
replay
bit
of
a
that
battle.
right now up on the screen. Yeah, he's just gone too deep into the corner. Just had a look on the replay camera, and yeah, he's
Toussaint and GJ are gonna have a bit of a battle here. Although GJ has still 0.1 of a second penalty, and he's gone wide again. They've both gone wide there.
I've just got the replay, and Toussaint went too deep into the corner, understeered a little bit, and he's got a 5/10 penalty, but GJ's also got a 6/10 penalty. So maybe we're going to have a...
Very wide.
And GJ's coming to the pits.
GJ in the pits.
He's got front right damage, so I don't know if there was... I didn't see if there was a collision. But whether he hit the wall, he might have hit the wall at the right hand side, the wall on the right hand side. And I forgot to answer your question earlier. I saw it in chat, but yes, best of performance is on. And yeah, GJ's coming onto the pits. I don't know if he'll pit for fuel. He's still got over half of the tank left. He pits when fresh set of tyres. He goes into the soft tyre. And yeah, refuels the only a little bit of fuel for the Zubri driver.
Toussaint didn't get any damage off that, so lucky for that.
Yeah, just
the tyre wear isn't too bad yet. One person,
tyre wear. Tyre wear's not too bad currently, but I think Duke's just served a penalty. He's just ghosted on my screen. But yeah, that was the first time I used the replay cameras on this game. I'm pretty proud with myself.
How do you use them?
They're only available on keyboard. And I was completely torn into the action at the start of the race. I completely forgot about it. So I didn't get to see what happened to Tiger and Woody. Talk about Tiger and Woody. I think Tiger's definitely gaining on Joe Black. There's 5 seconds now between them. It was quite large before. Currently 1 minute 20 behind the leader. But then it is a 4-minute lap, so I don't think we're going to see many people getting lapped in this race. Got down to 4.8, so maybe 10. Lap 10 out of probably 15 or 16.
Yeah, 15, 16. And Duke is looking pretty good here.
Definitely, he's conserving his fuel. I'm pretty sure that's the aim of his game. His strategy, conserving fuel and then going one stop basically. I think he pitted around 35-minute mark. Yeah,
I think the top 3 pitted in the... I think it was around 35 minutes, so
it'll be interesting to see whether... Because Toussaint, he's got a 4/10 penalty. I'll see if I can see if we saw him cut the corner now. He's gone almost 2 tenths quicker on his personal best, so Yeah, maybe we'll see him set a new fastest lap of the race.
He's
Jojo Power,
serving a bit of his
I
penalty.
didn't quite check that, but he's got the new fastest lap of the race by 0.07, no, 0.08. No, 0.008 on Tuesday's personal best, so apologies for that. With a 3-minute 58.4.
Woody's got a 0.6 penalty. So he's gotten a lot of penalties this race.
Yeah, penalties are really harsh around this track, and
especially because you see the track and you're like, I can push it that far, but you just don't look at the white line.
On board, I'm just riding on board with Tiger Assassin now. The gap is coming down to Joe Black, now 4.1 seconds. It was 5 a lap earlier. Joe Black in the Mustang had a bit of action at the start with Tiger Assassin and Woody. You could kind of split this race in two, with the top 3 having their battle, and then the bottom, Joe Black, Tiger and Woody all having their little 3-way battle on the first opening laps.
GR4 instead of GR3.
And then we got DJ, who's kind of just like Joe. He's kind of he's almost in a race of his own. He's currently with a 2/10 penalty, 18 seconds to Saint,
and 30 seconds behind. So he's setting for 4th if he doesn't make any mistakes or he doesn't gain too much time. Obviously, probably wanting to gain time to get on the podium, but
yeah, kind of in the similar position to a one-shot last week in 4th place, kind of just running his own race, keeping it, but yeah, kind of chill in a 4th place, but oh, I don't know if this is recent, but Jojo Power, he's got rear and damage to his left rear.
Yeah. It's not visual. I can't really. If you look at the back of his car, you can't really see it, but on the damage, it's definitely there.
I'm gonna ride on board with him and see if he's like a bit. Oh, that's a bit of a slide from the Audi driver. Maybe, I don't know when he got that. I don't think that was a collision with Toussaint.
He's lost a lot of time to Duke, now it's 17 seconds.
Yeah, and the time to Toussaint, maybe there was a collision that we didn't see. But Toussaint hasn't got any damage yet. Well, I say yeah, he didn't get any damage from that collision.
Nobody else.
11 seconds behind Joe.
I saw someone who got damage there, I'm not sure.
But Tiger Assassin is closing in on Joe Black. This is, I think, the closest on-track battle we currently have. 2.6 seconds to the Mustang driver. 2 British drivers.
Oh, GJ has gone. Oh no, I think that's no penalty.
Tiger running the bright blue Aston with the Gavra Racing logo, quite big along the side. Really easy to see. But
I say my favourite style would have to be the brighter cars.
Yeah, I think I don't think I have a favourite livery, but I do have the ones I like. Obviously, you got the bright ones that just really stand out, and then you got like the creative, more not race style ones, but ones with sponsors on.
I'd say my favourite is probably Duke, because I just like the bright cars and just the 2 colours, and then I just think that's a nice car.
17 minutes left in this race. It's gone pretty quick actually. We've had lots of action.
It's cool. It's calmed down a bit near the end of the race, but Tiger Assassin has lost a second to Joe Black there. It was 2 seconds a couple of corners ago.
Something that's also drawn attention to my screen. There's Toussaint, 17 minutes left, but doesn't have a lot of fuel left.
Yes,
so
and he's like on the last bar, if you call it.
I wonder if he'll probably get maybe 3 laps if he's on like power. But if he's conserving his fuel, then I wonder if he'll make it to the end of that race. Obviously, if he does, it'll be great because his car will be the lightest of the top 3 currently. But if he doesn't, then DJ is still behind him.
Duke has gotten himself a 20-second lead. I'm not sure. Are we able to check in with him, or is he only for pit stops?
How are you doing there, Duke? 21 second lead.
Yeah, I think Jojo's crash definitely took a lot of pressure off of me. So I think it's a shame. I would have loved to have continued the battle between me and him and Toussaint. So a bit of shame, but yeah.
Definitely, it would have been fun to see it go down to the end. He currently sets a new personal best in the final sector. Whether he'll challenge for the fastest lap, currently held by Jojo. But yeah, it seems to be a controlling race from the Mercedes driver.
Yes, and just
Gets himself
he got himself a
5-10 penalty, but
.57.
I don't think he'll be too fussed about that with a 21-second lead over Jojo, who still has that rear left
Commentators-
damage. He does
That's
seem
a
to
half
be a.
commentator's curse.
What
Not
is
as
it
much
with
as you
people
do in
when
the first
commentate? Yeah, I've watched many videos recently with commentators cursing, but hopefully we don't do that with any other of these drivers today.
Woody's got himself a 0.5-second penalty again.
So yeah, the BMW driver still cutting the corners, going
Well,
wide,
sure,
but
he's
track
nothing else
limits
to
are
do.
definitely harsh around this track.
Yeah, I'm trying to see Jojo with that power, with the damage. Toussaint is closing that gap a little bit. He's gone down to 8.4 seconds, so we could have a bit of last lap drama.
Maybe, and I
If this-
reckon Toussaint's now saving his fuel. I reckon he was burning it to try and catch into Jojo, and now
He
he's
needs to be
realised,
careful, though.
oh no, we've only got 15 minutes left, and whether he'll run out or not would be quite interesting. 30 seconds behind Duke.
Duke still has a lot of fuel. Jojo still got a good bit of fuel. One person who has a particular good amount of fuel is GJ. He's basically just halfway through his fuel, so he could be pushing.
Definitely, he'll be looking to push that Subaru, and whether he can gain 20 seconds though to Toussaint within the last.
Obviously, tyre wear.
Definitely a tyre wear. I'm not sure it's going to affect these drivers too much. I think Woody.
Duke has got himself a 0.9.
Duke's got himself a 0.9 penalty. I'll have a look in the replay and see what happened there. I've literally just started the replay as he got the penalty, so that's excellent.
Things you love to see.
Just when you want to watch something and then the replay cameras go, absolutely not. You're
Obviously,
watching
he has
it
a
from the
23-second
start.
lead, so
Yeah, I don't think 9/10 is going to have much of an effect on his rate, on his gap to the car behind. Currently sets another personal best, so I think he's burning fuel now, or burning more fuel than he was before, going
you
less
won't want to
conservative.
push too hard and risk.
Definitely, the worst thing that these drivers can do is push too hard, and then for the last 5 minutes realise that they haven't got enough fuel to get them around the last lap. Can only go 1.3 quicker than his personal best. So if Duke keeps this all clean, and I don't want to jinx anything or put the commentator's curse on him, but he's on for fastest lap of the race.
Toussaint has got it down to 6 seconds between him and Jojo. So he's got 2 seconds off.
I wonder if we'll see a battle for second come late in this race. Toussaint, I think he's got less fuel.
Toussaint and Joe Black are battling now.
Oh yeah, Tiger Assassin
yeah.
and Joe Black. Old rivalry resumes. We saw their incident early on in this race with Tiger Assassin coming off much worse with the front right tyre damage.
And he
looks like he's going for a move on the inside. Would he? I think he's going to try and back out and leave it for...
for it. Is it? No, he
decides to back out. I think he's going to try and get a better exit than the Mustang. Two British drivers going at it. A little bit of a... what's the word I'm looking for? A little bit of a twitch. That's it. Words aren't coming to me today.
Woody has got himself a 1 second penalty.
Another 1 second penalty for the BMW driver. But yeah, the gap between Joe Black and Tiger Assassin is definitely coming down. It's now 2/10.
2 tenths.
Will we? I don't think we'll see a late lunge. Got a ride on board. It's not I don't know why, but sometimes it's giving me random camera angles when I'm asking for one specific one, but we'll gloss over that and move on. I'm just riding on board now with the Aston Martin. Closest battle on track. Tiger Assassin that is low on fuel. Quite close to Joe, but when their warning light starts flashing, they'll get the message saying they've only got a certain amount of laps left. But will we see a late lunge? Oh! I think there's been contact.
Oh, he's got damage. He's got damage.
Yes, Joe Black's got rear damage, but I can't. Oh yeah, the Tiger Assassin's got damage to the front of his car as well.
They both got damage. I didn't really see that properly.
Joe Black went for the inside. Joe Black went for the inside, and Tiger Assassin just went the same way.
I think he was flashing his headlights there, maybe in anger. I'm not sure.
But yeah, maybe they're not very happy with the moves. Letting us know in the commentary box that it was not a fair race, and this is the second time those two have come together this race. I think maybe the third time even from their
They might be both taking the truck to stewards, I'm not sure.
But maybe they're going to get a bit heated under the helmets now, so we might see a little bit more aggressiveness from these two drivers.
One thing I'm noting is Tiger Grasson has his windscreen wiper on. I know that's a small thing, but
I believe he had it on last week as well, so I don't know how whether that'll give him a performance advantage or not, but he's got a 5/10 penalty.
Which just went that,
and he's coming into the pits.
That could bring Woody into this.
Potentially, but I'll have a look and see where Tiger Grasson just went wide. Joe Black also went wide. I don't know if he also got a penalty.
But
Joe Black interestingly stays out. 10 minutes to go for the Circuit de la Sarthe, round number 2.
Toussaint has got it down to 5.3 seconds to Jojo, so he's closing that gap down.
So yeah, just damage repairs for the Aston driver. No extra fuel or anything, but the gap now 8, almost 8.5 seconds to the Mustang.
I'm not sure. Tiger Grasson will have a lot more pace, but Woody at the start had it down to 10-second gap. But I'd say Tiger Grasson's going to be a lot quicker with the extra fuel and the new tyres.
Definitely, yeah. Woody's got. I think he's been on those tyres since the start of since he pitted on the opening laps with his damage.
Yeah, it was unlucky.
Really unlucky. A lot of cars. I think we had almost 3 wide at one point at the back with people going into tight hairpins and stuff.
Toussaint is now 3.7 seconds behind Jojo.
Toussaint now, so Jojo Power might have made a mistake there.
Although Toussaint doesn't have a lot of fuel to play with here, he's probably going to have to be conserving.
Yeah, this is going to be dangerously close for the British driver with only 8 minutes and 40 seconds left.
He'd be probably a bit lifting and coasting. He might just want to get ahead and then even just sit in the slipstream for a while.
He does have the gap to GJ to make a stop for fuel. But whether he'll risk trying to overtake Jojo.
8 minutes left, so there's probably another 2-3 laps left, depends where the leader gets you.
I'm sure strategy will definitely be interesting.
Although, don't forget Jojo has that damage in the rear left of his car, so that could be hindering him a bit.
Yeah, that may affect his performance. I'm looking at the minimap and there are 2 cars. Joe Black and Tiger Grasson are definitely closer than before. It's now 4 seconds, so.
It looks very close on the minimap.
Yeah, it looks closer on the minimap than it is on track, which is hyped me up. And then it's 4 seconds between these two.
Woody's got himself another penalty, but if these two are battling for a while, this could bring him back into the race. They would have to be battling a lot. But if there's a bit of a collision,
we've seen. I think this is the 3rd collision that the 2 British drivers have had this race.
Toussaint's gone into 4 seconds. He's lost a bit of time. Maybe
4.5 seconds. So maybe he's realised he hasn't got a lot of fuel to play with, and is now conserving to the end of this race.
Duke's almost had a 30-second lead, though. So that's pretty impressive from Duke.
Really impressive.
I'm not sure. Can we talk some more? Will we leave him for a couple of minutes just in case?
The 7 minutes left. We've got 2 laps. Duke, how are you feeling confident at this point with your 30-second lead?
Yeah, this is pretty much just a Sunday cruise from now on.
It's
such a big gap, so I can, fastest lap. I can just play around with the car. I can take some chances. Nothing too crazy, but it's pretty easy from here on.
From the spectator cam, it looks like you got a bit of fuel to play with as well. Not too much, but just a little bit. So I think you're in contention of getting some good points in a race win.
Hopefully.
So let's hope that I haven't just cursed him and then he decides to disconnect or cut corners or something.
I must admit, I got quite nervous when you start speaking of, oh, Duke is doing very well. I mean, oh, please do not talk about me.
All right, we'll move on from him. We've got Jojo Power.
Jojo Power
with a 5/10 penalty.
Don't forget, be thinking of your driver of the day.
Yeah, if you have a driver of the day, please leave it in the chat. I think I know who my driver of the day is going to be.
Yeah.
But I'll leave that till the end of the race. See what you guys in the chat want to say about your driver of the day. Oh, I think
Tiger Grasson and Joe
Tiger
Black
Assassin and Joe Black are definitely going to be putting on a show for us today. 2 seconds now. Yeah, we've got 2 laps to go. I would like to say with 5 minutes left. This will be their they've got
second last lap or last lap.
Tiger
Grasson has got himself a 0.5 second penalty. Just served it there, but
yeah, that's cost him quite a bit. Now 2.3 seconds, 2.2s to the Mustang. I feel like someone we haven't commented too much on today is GJ. He's kind of just been in, just right in the middle of the track, just driving his consistent race.
Seconds buffer the car behind.
With a 4/10 penalty, but really consistent performance from him this race. Just like all the other drivers, but we have had a few collisions, more collisions than last week, unfortunately. But it's definitely made it interesting from a spectator point of view.
Sure, that's racing.
That is racing.
GJ, I wouldn't say he's complaining though. I would say, I know it's always good having a battle, and this race probably felt very long for him. But
yeah,
all these drivers have done very well not to. Oh, Jojo Power has a 0.1 penalty, and there's 3 seconds between them. So this could get a little bit.
This could get interesting. The gap's coming down to Tiger Assassin is now 2/10 to the Mustang driver. He pulls over to the left-hand side. That will be the inside. The next corner, he's up into 5th place, but will Joe Black try and hide around the outside? No, he decides to back out of it again.
Toussaint is on red fuel, 3 minutes left.
Oh, this is going to be very interesting for the Mercedes driver, but he should be able to pit and come out in 4th place, but we can have more rivalry between the battle for 5th place.
This can get very heated.
This could get quite heated. These guys have come together twice or maybe 3 times with an opening lap squabble in the hairpin.
Joe Black just needs to be careful and just keep it, even just be patient and wait for the straight.
Wait for the best opportunity, wait for the mistakes from Tiger Assassin. Tiger Assassin's got the so the gap at the lead's coming down. We got I've only just realised that Tiger Assassin's got the one PlayStation bit on the back of his wing as I've riding on board, and that's the view he's looking at right behind him.
Joe Black, don't forget, still has rear damage from their collision. He didn't pit after the collision.
It doesn't seem to be affecting him too much. However, Tiger Assassin has got past him after his pit stop, so maybe it was not the greatest decision to stay out from the British driver.
They both have a good bit of fuel to play with, but Toussaint has to be very careful. He's running on fumes at the moment. He just has to be very careful, probably lifting and coasting a bit now.
Oh, we're going to see another move. This is where these two came together last time. This is the damage that was done. Maybe we'll see another replay. Will Joe Black look for a move on Tiger Assassin? But the battle for 5th place.
No, I would say they're going to wait for the straight now.
Yeah, they're probably going to wait for the straight. I believe we've got to have Duke on. This will be his last lap with only 2 minutes to go. He's currently down the straight. This actually could be quite close. But I think this will be Duke's last lap.
Joe Black's gone a bit wide. He might get himself a penalty there.
We'll have a look. I'm not sure he's got a penalty. Oh yeah, there is a 1 second penalty. That's definitely.
Not ideal.
I would hate to say this, but I think that's going to end that battle for P5.
Toussaint.
This is the first time I've looked at Toussaint, but in a long time. But yeah, his fuel, hopefully for himself, that it will last him the whole race. But
1.2. He just has to be really careful. He's got very little fuel.
Really little fuel. But this is going to be an interesting battle for 2nd place. 7/10 with 1 minute 20 to go. This I'm going to go quickly just back down to Tiger Assassin. Yeah, Joe Black's got another 1.2 second penalty. And 3 second gap to So the battle for 5th is definitely gonna
We'll
go down. But we got to move for Toussaint.
He's in
Looking on the
the
left-hand
inside.
side with 1 minute to go. This is the battle for 2nd.
Oh, he's
Late
got
drama
past him.
here. He's got past him the strip, but
Jojo.
whether Jojo Powell, that was a strategic, maybe that was a strategic move for Jojo, just to get the slipstream for the next straight. Is a really long, another long straight.
Joe Black's got himself a 1.2 second penalty. I know that isn't very relevant, but just said I'd put that out there.
I think that the damage of Jojo Power is definitely hindering his abilities to gain more and more and more on the British driver and the
his tyre wear is
Mercedes.
a bit more as well than Toussaint.
Yeah, and I'm going to put my camera back up onto
Oh,
Duke, who's had a very...
close. Oh, he's got a 0.5 and they've hit. They've touched.
Oh, there's contact on that. As soon as I moved my camera for the leader, there was contact.
He's let him go right back through.
Fair racing from these two. Duke now with 6 seconds to go. I think he'll definitely probably win this race, but how much fuel has Toussaint got? This is the final lap of the race, obviously with no time left.
I'm not sure did you see that collision, but
I didn't see all the collision, but I literally moved my camera up onto Duke, and Duke's is gonna...
Jojo let him go back by just to keep them both happy. Duke crossed the line.
Duke has come across the line, and he has won
and he wins.
the Circuit de la Sarthe. We're going to put my camera back now onto Toussaint, the British driver. This is going to be very...
so
I can't speak. I don't know whether Jojo will go for a move in the last laps, whether Jojo will look for the inside or the outside into the chicane. There's a little bit... He's having a look. This could get very, very... This will be interesting.
Sorry, Duke, that we're not really saying well done, but
congratulations for the leader for the win there. But I think Jojo's accepting his 3rd place. He's cut the corner. That could be a penalty. But Toussaint somehow, it's a 1 second penalty for him. But he somehow hasn't ran out of fuel, and 3/10 separated the two, 2nd and 3rd.
And Duke, well done, 41 seconds. That is a pretty big lead.
Yeah, that's quite a bigger margin than I have been hoping for. I think I got a bit lucky that Jojo had a crash and something happened to Saints in this race. So yeah, I had it pretty easy today, I would say.
Yeah,
Wardy is 1 second behind Joe Black at the moment.
Wow, I was that, but he does have a 6/10 penalty. GJ comes across the line at a really good 4th place for him. I believe he qualified 6th or something. So a really good performance from him. Tiger Assassin will be the next to cross the line in the Aston Martin, unless he makes a mistake. But wow,
it's going to 6/10, 4/10. Woody's going to do... Oh, he's serving his penalty. Woody's served his penalty, and there's 2/10 between them.
This could get... This is a... Oh, they're looking for it outside. But Tiger Assassin, I'm going to give Tiger Assassin the...
He's got the switchback.
He's got the switch. This is from... what a recovery drive this would be from Woody to finish in 6th place, but Tiger Assassin comes across the line to finish in 5th place.
The final chicane. Oh,
will we see? Oh, that's a little bit of a corner cut. Whether we see a position penalty or a position chases cut the corner, I think he's trying to. Yeah, the fastest penalty for him, and it's going to be a 2. Oh wow!
Wow!
What a race!
Woody got a bit of action at the end there.
What a race! We did have the 2 penalties.
Duke
wow!
Has won.
I can't speak.
Now we had a little bit of a low point during the middle of the race, but at the end we had a lot of drama.
Definitely, wow. So, oh my! Driver of the day.
I think who do we have? We got
one for Joe Black.
Now, did the commentators have to come in this one then?
I was going to give my driver of the day to Thunder, not Thunder, sorry, Duke. I was looking at the leaderboard. Sorry, he's done a great job commentating.
Tonight.
But yeah, commanding race from Duke. We've got another vote for Jojo.
We have Woody saying he's about to cry and lie in his bed. Okay.
Oh dear. A good race though, better than the last week. It was a last race in this place. However, he did have a really good overtakes. However, really unlucky at the end not to get 6th place. But yeah, my driver of the day.
He was showing pace there though, showing that he did have the pace.
My driver of the day would go to Duke. Commanding
I'll
race,
say
many battles at the
with
front at the
40
start, and then just led the race. Very good
so
performance from him.
consistent. So well done, Duke.
I think
Let me just check the.
we've got one for Tiger, one for Jojo, and
we've
one
got
for
someone-
Joe Black. So
We've got someone consoling Woody in the chat saying was a good race, Woody. So at least Woody has some support.
but yeah, wow, that we had many interesting overtakes and that was more collisions than last week.
Collisions. It was more collisions between Joe Black and
Yeah, we
Tiger
had Joe Black and Tiger colliding 3 times, one at the start, one in the middle, and then we had that bit of squabbling at the end, and then unfortunate for Tiger Assassin and not Tiger Assassin, sorry, Toussaint and Jojo Power coming to the end at the end. I was just putting my camera up on Duke as he crossed the line, and then you come and say that they've collided.
Yeah, I got it. So if anyone wants it, I can show you them.
But yeah,
yeah,
guys, that's been the round number 2 of the GT Sport League here at the Circuit de la Sarthe. Where are we for next week? Where's next? Red Bull Ring, I believe, is next week. The Austrian Grand Prix.
You've gone from. Sorry, you go.
Yeah, Red Bull next week. Duke extends his gap at the top of the table. And yeah, very interesting race. But thank you guys for watching. Later tonight, tune in for the Freshman F1 League, and we'll see you next week for the Red Bull Ring.